pot up some tomatoes. But what I just did, I just added peat moss to this bucket, and then I threw in about a third what I put of peat moss, about a third of perlite, and then I wetted the soil a little, just a little bit. It's really not that wet at all, so it looks a starting mix that you would buy from the store. And I do have vermiculite here, but I'm going to add this to the pots at the end, on top. So these are all Amish paste. These are Cherokee purple. I want them to all have their own individual pots like this for the sale. Vermiculite, and this is what I'm going to put on top. This is mixed in. I find that this will help prevent any algae growth, mold growth, anything like that. And then it provides extra nutrition to our plants. It's all organic, natural. It's got like little critters in it. Bugs. So I just put in these Cherokee purple that I just potted up. These are doing just fine. I'm just going to come in here and kind of top off some of these cups with more soil. Snapdragons, they're slow, but we're working on them. Okay, these are the ones that we split up and divided out the other day, and they are just, look at this guy. He's already doubled, tripled. So I think I might come back through here and pull out a few more of these. Split these guys up. Here goes Moon. See, you loyal. Mooney just wants to bark. Come here, Moon. Good boy. He loyal. He loyal boy. over. Hi guys, welcome to Weep Weep Homestead. Wow. Sit. Welcome to Weep Weep Homestead. I'm Julia and this is my YouTube channel. Today I was going to do a garden tour and just kind of show you around my property and what we've built up, and just explain to you kind of where we came from and what we're doing, and a little bit about us. We live on 2 acres in Virginia in zone 7A. I am married to my husband Jacob. We have 3 children, Brayden, Cameron, and Virginia. She is our youngest little baby. Brayden and Cameron are a year apart. Brayden's the oldest of the 3. We moved to this area 3 years ago now, out of the city with the kids, and I was able to buy a house. I started a few things from seeds, just tomatoes and peppers, cucumbers, and I killed a lot of things at first, but my cucumbers did amazing, and you know, I bought myself a little grow light for inside my basement and started growing them that way. And then I bought some pots and started some tomatoes in pots. We built a little 10 by, I don't know, 4 or 5 garden bed. And it turned out it was really in the shade once all the trees really came in. We moved into my husband's house because it's bigger and it just worked better for us. And here we are. Now I took it to a whole nother level, and I love gardening, and now I am focused mostly on flower farming. When I can and freeze as much food as I possibly can, just to have fresh, available organic food for my family, to learn new skills, to learn how to grow our own food, learn how to preserve, learn how to make our own medicines and teas and just things from scratch, and instead of buying all this processed food. Anyway, so if something happened, like, oh, I can feed my family, I don't have to worry about that. Oop, here comes Jasper. Jasper. He doesn't like to be held, but he's the best cat. He has killed the vole that ate all of my brassicas in the fall. Then I found a like 10-foot snake in that garden down there the other day. My heart almost stopped, but you know, it's a good thing. His name is Jasper, but I call him Jingle. Jingle Jasp. See, and he listens. Jingle Jasp. I love you. You can do a garden tour, Jingle. Alright, let's do it. The greenhouse. So I finished painting the front, the side. The only parts I really can't reach yet, I need Jake to help me do, is obviously here, this section. It's a little scary being on the slope. So I'm definitely gonna need his help with that. But I transplanted all the, I potted up most of these tomato and pepper plants today. These are my Amish paste tomatoes that I'm keeping for myself. I'm gonna probably be planting sometime this week. I'm hoping to get enough tomatoes to make paste and sauces. Okay, here's more. Cherokee purple tomatoes potted up. Moneymaker, this is all Moneymaker. And this is rainbow mix. So they're looking really nice. I'm excited. Okay, here's some of the snapdragons that I pulled out of the tray and potted up. And look, some of them are already like 2 and 3 times the size of when I potted them up the other day. So okay. These are just the marigold seeds that I saved from last season, and they're growing nicely. I have tons of them all over the place. zinnia. I'm saving these to plant in my vegetable garden. This is like a pollinator. Banana peppers, I do need to pot these up. And what else do we have? This is chamomile, big flame cucumbers. This is romaine. Got a couple little asparagus guys. These cabbages probably just aren't gonna get planted. I don't know, we'll see. A couple hollyhocks. Look how cute this old wheelbarrow is. I love it. It's been brought back home. That's nice. All my raised bed garden. That's what it's going to be eventually. These 2 L sections we just put in cardboard compost. I really don't think that's the way to go, personally. Maybe for some things, but I planted mammoth sunflowers over here, and some of them are okay, and some of them are like, ugh, not loving it. And I really needed to establish this months prior to actually planting these guys, but I didn't have that time. We didn't have the compost, blah, 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 blah. Things happen. We're eventually going to replace this wire fence that we have here. Maybe we'll save it for alpacas. And then we move the fence to build a greenhouse to level this area and whatnot. So that's why these posts are here, and it looks like this. This is a green grape that I planted last year, and it's doing wonderful. Planted a couple hollyhocks here just to see what they do, and a cucumber. Section here is cabbages, lettuce, beets. Got some beets growing. Red cabbage. I want to say it's golden acre cabbage, and then we have a late flat Dutch. There's some spinach over there. I do have shade cloth, and now that the temperatures are getting consistently warmer, I'm trying to let them ride it out before I put the shade cloth on. I don't want them getting too spoiled yet. Here's some basil that I actually did from transplants. I put these in here. See, I had great success even direct sowing basil last season. Basil, cilantro, dill. I did all of those just direct sow, and they did fantastic. I want to say that this is oregano coming up over here. Either oregano, rosemary, sage, something like that. I planted in these pots, and I just don't remember what is growing. This is catnip. I did transplant these 3 catnips in here the other day. Just a couple more cabbages in these pots. I don't know what's in there. Don't know. Some sad looking Brussels sprouts. Don't know that they'll do anything. I'm probably gonna try those again in the fall. This is onion. I started these onions, these grown up onions from seed in the fall, transplanted them in the fall. They overwintered, and here they are. I'm just gonna wait till they totally flop over now at this point, and wait. Okay, and then these other little onions, man, I forgot to read this. Smaller onions here, these are doing fantastic. These were starts from a co-worker of Jake's. So Neil, thank you very, very much. These were his onion starts. He actually gave me 2 sets. These are the first ones that he gave me. I'll show you the other set in the other garden. I'm going to put barbed wire on the 4 corners, and I have PVC piping. I'm gonna do the whole, tunnel thing with the shade cloth. There's ranunculus here, and I know that these need to be started way earlier, so I might try it with the shade cloth, see if we get any. That's more cabbage. This is carrots. Obviously, carrots. I planted these in the fall, and wow, just look at them. I intercropped some peas on this side wall, on both side walls, but I think we're starting to get a little tangled here. These peas need to reach for the trellis and not the carrots. There's a few onions in here and cabbage as well. Oh, look, my hair clip. Okay. So, okay, I think the issue with the garlic in this bed is it was from the store-bought kind, just the bulbs. I planted what, maybe like 25 to 30 heads of garlic, and this is what I got, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the store. They'll probably be harvested later in late June, July time frame. But hey, I got 4, so not a total loss, but definitely not great. Oh wow, I did not even spray this bed, and look, I've got little suckers over here coming to destroy. Again, same thing with this one. I'm gonna put barbed wire, PVC piping, shade cloth, weed this bed, and try to get some life out of these cabbages. Probably gonna shade cloth this too. Pretty sad broccoli. Okay, so here in this bed, I planted from seed some cucumbers, just some random ones that I had mixed together. These ones are pickling ones that I just transplanted in 3 days ago. I planted some green beans here. They're starting to sprout. Carrots that I planted in the fall. Okra. We'll see. I'm starting another round of okra. I think I started it too early. My lovely husband put up the T-post tomato trellis for me. These are the 7-foot posts. They were $7 something a piece, okay? And then the cattle panel, 35 I think a piece. So we got 2, and this is how we will trellis our tomatoes this season. Okay, now here are Neil's other beautiful onions. So the set, I mean, they just look gorgeous here. Next to this heat wave lettuce, I planted this in the late summer. It overwintered, and here it is. Beautiful. I love how it's like green with purple leaves. I really don't know what that is. And then there's marigolds throughout, because I did have a marigold planted here last season. Okay, here's some squash that I planted. We have Black Beauty, we have a crookneck, butternut, the gray zucchini, and spaghetti squash. So this year I am going to do the trellis, the tomato cage trellis for these. That way they can grow up and I can prune the leaves as they die, you know, one by one from the bottom. I had a horrible time with squash bugs last year, so trying to avoid that this year. Over here, look at this. I love this trellis, love it. So I just built this last year, pretty simple. We had a bunch of little like scrap pallets over here, and I kind of went to town and you know, built this trellis, and more carrots, nasturtium. I transplanted these out about a week ago. They are just doing wonderful. Okay, these are potatoes and peas. I do have these little buzzers in here because we had that vole, and I know voles really go after potatoes. So I know Jasper killed the one vole, but they're kind of a just in case. And in this bed here, we have onions that I started from seed. I mean, they're starting to get bigger, but definitely slow. I think next time I'm gonna do the 4 starts like Neil gave me. Okay, and then I intercropped some carrots. You see there are some throughout, onions and carrots. And then I have some volunteer tomatoes. This is a super sweet tomato that we had last year. I'm gonna leave a couple of them. and then a marigold that's coming back from last year. This has to be a cucumber. And then over here is beans. These are Jacob's cattle beans. And I also planted a row of black beans. Okay, and then all back here is corn. They're starting to pop up. I need to weed this, but I'm waiting until the corn fully grows in before I weed it. Okay, and then this whole road down here is green beans. I planted 180 green beans here. And this side of the trellis is pole beans. Weep Weep Homestead cut flower garden. We basically did the cardboard and the compost and directly planted into that. We did put the cardboard and compost down, a layer of compost down months ago. I want to say like before winter in October. And then I got the big truckload of compost delivered. It was homemade compost that we put on in October, just a little bit, and then stuff that we scratched up around the yard. We have leaf decay down in the woods on the cardboard because I wanted to get the cardboard situated down and starting to decompose. Then we got the truckload of compost and I put a big layer down. Then before I planted, I made sure that these had another big layer. So it's just been decomposing. This row here is our dahlias. You saw us plant those in another video. We have a few sprouting. I'll take you along and show you that. They take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks. So it's only been, I don't know, 3 weeks. So we are seeing a few sprouts. This second row here is our zinnias. We have California Giants, State Fair Giants. We have Scarlet Flame. We have Envy, Lavender, and I can't think of it. I don't know. Here I planted white gladiolus. You can see a few of them actually really starting to come up today. Just the other day I saw this one here, but now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's a bunch of them coming up all over. I planted some seashell cosmos here. There are a bunch of mixed cosmos, seashell, and here we have giant mission giant, or yellow fluffy marigolds. Then next to it, we have regular marigolds. Like I said, we have tons of those, so there's no shortage of those if we need to add some more in here. Hollyhocks. Over here, wildflower, just a wildflower mix. You can see cosmos. I don't even know what's all in it. I guess we'll see once it starts growing. Some sweet peas that it's probably too hot for. I'll need to do those under a trellis next year. Okay, so let's look. Some of the dahlias are popping up. There's a new one today. Okay, here's one. Okay, so we're starting to get some. I'm probably gonna come spray them with some organic Captain Jack's dead bug. Sunflowers. This whole row is gonna be sunflowers. Let's excuse Mr. Helicopter over here. Sunflowers. We did teddy bear. I don't even remember what we planted. We did teddy bear. We did red. We did white light. We did, man, I don't even know. They're coming up all over, and I'm really excited for that. Okay, so then we have yarrow. I'm just leaving the stuff that's in here. As you can see, there's a bunch of it. And it was all over this hillside. but I'm only gonna keep what's in here. Bouquet dill. Catnip. We're gonna plant some of the echinacea and stuff in here as well. This is the liatris. Now, just gotta let everything grow. I weed-eated this today, but I have to be very careful because our property, this whole hillside, and bits up in there too, is loaded with berries, berry bushes, blackberries. Here's one, a bunch of small ones, but they are all over. And there's different kinds, so this one's a 5-leaf blackberry bush. This is 3-leaf. So, my goal here was to leave as many as I could, because who doesn't like pretty plants? Apple. Got 2 apple and 2 pear. See, I left all of these berry bushes. Then you have these that have kind of like a more red leaf, very thorny, all over. I purchased 2 elderberry plants from Starkbros as well. This is John's elderberry. And it really seems like, well, one, it's taken off. It's doing wonderful. But look, now I have elderberry all over the place. Elderberry. It's all over here. This is another section that he just cleared off. We had a huge wood pile. He slowly started moving some of the limbs over here. Over the next few months, or this year, I'm gonna try clearing out all these like twiggy trees, all this small stuff throughout the property, and just make space for possible chickens, alpaca, garden, flower farm. So, thanks for sticking through that video and coming along with me today, just to see my garden, talk about my garden. Lord has blessed me, and I'm taking full advantage of it. I'm enjoying it. Him's hot, but him's guarding him's mama. Yeah, he's a good boy. So, thanks for coming on the garden tour with me today.